There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports, Let Go, Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports, Let Go.
What's going on, everybody? It's the EVP from the EVP Show, and we are live for your Wrestlemania Night 2 recap show. Sorry, I'm a bit hoarse. It's been a super long weekend, but we are live for the Wrestlemania Night 2 recap show Sunday, April the 19th, 2026. Well, it's been a long weekend. Not week, but weekend. We had SmackDown, Hall of Fame, and obviously like 8.5 plus hours yesterday for night 1, and then a little bit of rest, and then back to another 3-hour pre-show and night 2, and then obviously hour post-show. You could definitely tell the difference between night 1 and night 2. Night 1 looked a lot more booked by TKO compared to night 2. Night 2 seemed to be about WWE. For me, it looked like WWE had a lot to say in the booking for night 2. Obviously, there was a ton of surprises tonight. Obviously, the opening match, which I really didn't have any suspicions of. Obviously, WWE made a statement that they come out and said that all the matches were gonna go longer tonight, which majority of them did not. Obviously, the Rhea Jade match was kind of ruined last night for me personally, with Bianca showing up. Which congratulations to her, obviously. Glad she's pregnant, having a baby and all that, but the winner was kind of spoiled. I didn't think Rhea was going to win the title, so that was definitely a shock. But the opening match, it was definitely a shock. Not the winner. The winner was 100% not a shock. The winner was like the right thing to do. It was WWE putting the final touches on the build for Brock Lesnar and Obi. I mean, obviously, it's what happened after the match, which, like I said last night when I was previewing tonight, I said Brock and Obi not going over like 8 minutes, and they did not. So, but the biggest shock, obviously, there's going to be a lot of speculation around rampant. There's not 100% confirmation. I'm going to go off just my opinion. I don't think that's the last time we're going to see Brock Lesnar. I know he put his gloves and his boots in the ring and all that, but so many other superstars have done that before. This whole summer is going to be built towards Oba and Roman. So I don't think it's going to be a championship match, unless they, if Brock is retiring, then congratulations to Brock. Crazy good career. I just don't think that's what it is. I think we start to see something tomorrow. Obviously, the Raw after Mania is always crazy. I don't know. I just have a funny hunch that this isn't the last time that we're going to see Brock Lesnar. I mean, if SummerSlam was not in his hometown, then I would just go ahead and just chalk it up and say, yeah, he's 100% retiring. But I think somehow, and I saw Sal quote tweeted it earlier, that he felt the same way. Like Gunther, I feel like Gunther may goad him, because I feel like Seth and Braun are going to kind of be entangled most of the summer. So like that, Gunther's got to have something to do. And, I mean, WWE did a really good job tonight. I will give them credit. They did a really good job of kind of building up and kind of letting you know like where they're headed at for the summertime. Obviously, at the beginning of the show, obviously it was announced that Cody suffered an orbital bone fracture in his eye last night from Randy punching him. It wasn't from the punt. Obviously, people online or just see something and they just go absolutely ape shit with it. Um, it was actually from when they were exchanging punches. So he does have an orbital bone, small orbital bone fracture. Um, in his, I don't know which eye it is, left or right eye, I'm not really sure. But full recovery for that's like probably 4 to 8 weeks. So when that surgery, obviously, like he still can like hardly see out of that eye. So I don't see them doing Randy Cody at Backlash. I just don't see any way possible that he's back. And I mean, Backlash is what, May 9th, so we're less than 3 weeks away from Backlash. So yeah, I don't see Cody being back for that. But as far as what they're doing on the Raw side, Punk's probably going to take some time off, so I don't think we're going to see Roman Punk again. But they're building up Ova to be this next big star on Monday Night Raw. Obviously, there was a lot of questions going around was whether Ova was going to stay on Raw or was he going to get moved to SmackDown. He's definitely going to stay on Raw. But for me, it looks like they're headed towards like an Ova Femi, maybe King of the Ring win. Which was set up because Roman talked about it a lot in his post conference after he beat Punk. The match was, I think, like 35 minutes long, which is crazy long. Great match, though, for sure. But he said Ova's got to prove himself through the summer, and then they'll talk. So, which leads me to believe that Ova Femi is going to probably win the King of the Ring. And then we get Roman Reigns over Femi, probably SummerSlam. At that point, we may get, if we don't get Randy Cody at SummerSlam, I guess it could happen in Paris. I don't know. I think it drags out to SummerSlam, though. Maybe Seth Bryan ends up happening at SummerSlam as well. Yeah, so WWE's headed in the right direction. I don't expect Backlash to be something like super huge. It never is. Probably going back to the 4 at most 5 match PLE card for Backlash. But it's been a long week. WrestleMania was overall probably a B. With both nights, obviously. The time, I think, Roman and Punk kind of made up for a lot of the lost time tonight, going 30 plus minutes. Incredible main event. Both men going that long. They beat each other to hell and back. So that was definitely a good main event. But X is definitely difficult to deal with after WrestleMania because fans are just so like off. It's just really hard to deal with. Let's see. Okay, WrestleMania only good with Finn Balor, Ova, and Brock. The rest was okay-ish. Roman Punk was great. It was good. It was a great match. I don't know if it was better than I don't know. It just depends on what type of match you like. I think Seth and Gunther's right up there with it. The ladder match was really good. I mean, over Brock was a good match, but it was super short. So kind of a squash match, if you really ask me. But they're building over to be the next big thing. So it makes complete sense for it to be a squash match. And like I said, I may be wrong, and if I am, I'll definitely say it, but I don't think that's the last time we see Brock Lesnar. I think that's the last time that we see Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. But I do think SummerSlam's in his hometown. And Gunther tries to find a way to goat Paul Heyman. He owes him a favor now for beating Seth. So I don't know. They even said like at the post show, it said his future up in limbo. So until I hear from Brock Lesnar officially, then they're putting the gloves in the ring. It's usually a sign of retirement, but like I said, I don't personally think that's what they're doing. So we'll see. Raw tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll get more answers. Gunther's gonna probably talk to Paul at some point, and then we'll see where he goes from there. If he doesn't bring up anything about Brock, then there you go. Maybe he is retired, but I have a strange feeling we see him in Minneapolis. So a lot of these predictions, WWE don't follow through up. Not sure what you mean by that. Commercial Mania Night 2 is better than Mania Night 1. I had commercials, so I don't know which. I was watching on ESPN Unlimited. I had commercials. I mean, Night 2 was better, but I still think WWE needs to do a better job of tightening up on some of the match, like Finn and Dom went over 10 minutes, but a lot of the matches were like still 10 minutes or less. So you just can't really give these superstars who work all year long, work so hard to get to the Super Bowl of WWE and not be able to showcase their full talent in matches that are 10 minutes or less. So but yeah, Finn Balor should get pushed. I mean, a lot of people have been clamoring for that for a while, but we'll see. But let's go ahead and dive into it. This is the WrestleMania 42 Night 2 recap show, live here on the EVP show, April 19th, 2026. So only a 6-match card tonight, which obviously they did a segment with Danhausen, John Cena, The Miz, and Kit Wilson. WWE have to cut 75% of the commercial during PLE. Well, they didn't cut them last night, so I mean, I had commercials, so I don't know. I mean, commercials is one thing, but match length. I mean, you can't have CM Punk who's 48 years old going fucking 35 minutes in a match to make up time. Like, that's just not, if they're trying to push the new era and the young talent. Like, Punk did great, like, you know, to be able to go that long, but you just can't ask people that age to go 35 minutes in a main event. So to make up for I mean, it seemed like 4 matches were done in like an hour. So like, yeah, that's really quick. The R2 segment with John Morrison was the best. That smoking heel turn in UK. WWE should have pushed R-Truth there. I mean, R-Truth is about as pushed as he's going to get. I mean, he's mainly just a comedic stand. I mean, he's a SmackDown Tag Champion, but we'll see how long that lasts. So we're going to see CM Punk defend his title in the main event against the OTC Roman Reigns, plus kicking off Night 2, which will be on ESPN, the ruler of Femi. What I feel like is the future, one part of the future of WWE. Somebody we're going to be talking about for years to come. He's going to be a main event in WrestleMania for a long time. Goes one-on-one with Brock Lesnar. Like I said, don't believe Brock's retired, but until I hear it out of his mouth, or Paul's mouth, then we'll see. We're also going to get a street fight, which was actually made official today by Adam Pearce to Demon Finn Balor. I'm surprised he didn't come out with the Dude Whites logo on him in paint for WWE on TKO. They love to put all their logos and stuff. Versus the Judgment Day Triple A Mega Champion Dirty Dominic Mysterio. We're going to see the WWE United States Championship match with Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams. And the SmackDown WWE Women's Championship match, Jade Cargill will defend the title against the Eradicator Rhea Ripley, who ended up getting some help from Io Sky. And then obviously the second match that's going to be that aired live on ESPN was the WWE Intercontinental Championship six-pack challenge ladder match. Penta versus the Young OG, Javon Evans versus Dragon Lee versus the Judgment Day, JD McDonough versus the Bulgarian Rusev versus WWE Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio. So that is the 6 matches on the card for tonight. As I said at the beginning, Jackie Raven has an update on Cody Rhodes. She says Cody has not been medically cleared. Jackie says he needed 4 staples to the back of his head. Jackie Raven then said he has suffered an orbital injury. His timetable is unknown. So a lot of people that's hoping for Randy Cody at Backlash, it's not happening. So WWE should make Ova versus Reigns or Cody. Yeah, I think they're shooting for Ova versus Roman at SummerSlam. I mean, it's very apparent that's the direction they're going. Ova called Roman out in the post show. Roman talked about him in his post show interview, so they're 100% going in that direction. And if I'm WWE, I mean, you got to put over. You can't have them just lose. I don't know. They may do it, but I don't know. They're gonna push the younger stars, then Ova's a future. So yeah, looking forward to that match. That'll be a great match at SummerSlam. Definitely be probably the night 2 main event, because I do believe Randy Cody is gonna main event one of the nights also at SummerSlam. So we'll see. A lot of summer left, so we'll see what happens. Just scrolling through all the post-show stuff. Post-show 3 freaking hours long. I'm not going to go through all that. Like I said, Adam Pearce made it official that it's a street fight with Dominic Mysterio and the Finn Balor. Tyree Halliburton joined the crew for the panel for the pre-show from the Indiana Pacers. Oh, a lot of stuff. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get to the action. Joe Jonas actually performed tonight as well. I saw Rob Gronkowski in the crowd tonight too. So a lot of celebrities out there. They did a big thing about Obafemi, obviously, during the pre-show as well. Talked about his, college and stuff, everything, from his childhood and all that. Holy cow. All right. So Alicia Taylor introduces Joe Jonas, and he sings the Star Spangled Banner, and the countdown came to a close. So we are going to go ahead and go to... So WWE WrestleMania 42 Night 2 opens up with Trick Williams arriving with Lil Yachty. Rhea Ripley is then shown walking into Allegiant Stadium. WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Jade Cargill is then shown casually hanging out backstage. A focused WWE Raw Men's World Champion CM Punk is shown arriving. We get a video package, and Michael Cole and Wade Barrett welcome us to the show. And then we get, just like on night 1, the GOAT Never Seen 17, the host of WrestleMania 42, John Cena's music hits. He makes the way down to the ring. Cena says they kicked off WrestleMania with a great night 1. Cena says the stage is set for a historic night 2. Cena then says we have already made history. So between the 2 nights, there was 13 matches. We had 6 title changes in between 2 nights. So the only ones that I can remember. Yeah, the only two that I believe retained their titles was Penta and Cody Rhodes. Every other title changed hands this weekend. So one from each night. So Cena said we have already made history. Cena then said for the first time WrestleMania is live on ESPN. Cena then said that means they need to start with something big. Cena then welcomed everyone to WrestleMania and the fireworks go off. And Obafemi makes his way down to the ring, and the fans are going absolutely ballistic for Oba. That strut, his music, his aura, everything about Oba just screams top guy main event, which he's going to be main event for a long time to come. He is going to be challenged tonight by the Beast Incarnate, which many think on X that this was his last match. In my opinion, I do not believe that this is his last match until I hear it come out of his mouth. I do believe Gunther will retire him at SummerSlam. Still, possibly he could be retiring, but until I hear from Paul Heyman or Brock, or Gunther seems to go in a different direction, then that's just my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion, so I'm giving you my opinion. So Brock Lesnar follows with his special counsel, Paul Heyman. This definitely is the last time that we'll see Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, though, 100%. Whether if he's retired, then 100%. But either way, we're not seeing Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania again. So the crowd is very hyped for this match. Like I said, WWE, I feel like this match was the best build out of all of them. Roman and Punk was really great too, but Oba, Brock had 100% the best build, and WWE kept that build off tonight. So the match was all with both men locking up. They go to a stalemate with Brock pushing Oba, but the men lock up again. Oba pushes Brock away. Brock Lesnar then sends Oba into the corner for shoulders, and Oba pushes Brock down to the mat. Brock then goes for 2 clotheslines, and Oba stays on his feet. Oba then clotheslines Brock, and Brock goes to the floor to regroup. This was a total domination. Well, Brock got a few big moves in. He did hit the some German suplexes in the F5, but either Obafemi just no-sold it or he just didn't have a whole lot of effect on it. So Brock then kicks the ring steps and he picks them up and throws them down out of anger. Oba then grabs Brock. Brock pulls Oba to the floor and sends him into the ring post. So the first offense out of all this time of the build and everything that we've seen from Brock Lesnar. Brock then sends Oba to the ring post and the ring steps. Brock gets him back in the ring and he hits him with a German suplex. Brock then hits him with another German suplex, which Brock is very well known for. Brock then hits a knee to the chest and one follows up with the third German suplex. Brock then tries for another German, but Oba blocks it and hits several elbows and running uppercuts into the corner. Brock then gets Oba up for an F5, but Oba gets out and hits a choke slam. Well, first off, Brock did hit the F5, but Brock turned around, looked at the crowd, and by the time he turned back around, Obafemi was kind of just already almost back up to his feet. But Brock gets him back up for another F5. Oba escapes, and he hits Brock Lesnar with a choke slam. Obafemi then hits a fall from grace for the 1, 2, 3. And like I said, this match was, I don't know the specific time, but definitely less than 8 minutes. But WWE did a phenomenal job with the build, and this was absolutely the right call. I know there's a lot of stuff that went on sports-wise over a month ago that Brock wasn't going to put anybody over. And then several reports came out today after the match saying that Brock like handpicked Oba, which is probably true. So yeah, definitely the right call there. Femi goes over and beats Brock Lesnar on the first hour of WrestleMania live on ESPN. After the match, Brock Lesnar's seen laying down for a while. Obviously, he sits up after not moving. He then removes his gloves and unties his boots and takes them off. Brock then puts them in the middle of the ring. He begins to try to tear. He begins tearing up. But like I said, I still have a funny feeling we're going to see him at SummerSlam in his hometown of Minneapolis. Shout out to at SS Gaming YT123 OTC with the ones up. Yep, congratulations to your OTC on winning the Raw Men's Heavyweight Championship. I believe that completes the Triple Crown for, I believe, Roman's won the Intercontinental, I believe. So Brock puts him in the middle of the ring and begins to wave to the crowd. Obviously, him and Paul are both very emotional. So this could be the last time we see Brock Lesnar. If it is, congratulations, Brock, on one hell of a career. I've been watching you for a long time. Obviously, I know your career has been very controversial, but I did see him shaking hands with the fans. But I do feel like if he is going to wrestle another match, this is a good way because, like I said, he was kind of shaking hands with the fans and getting real emotional. It could definitely help him out in going into that match with Gunther if it happens at SummerSlam, to where it wouldn't be two heels. Lesnar could be the baby face because Gunther's not changing. So I don't know. I think that would have been a good move. Triple H didn't come on the presser, like I said. Michael Cole was very he said if you could just kind of tell. I mean, I did see Kurt Angle tweet out, but Bully Ray tweeted out, he said if this is the end. So a lot of ifs in there. Like I said, because you just really don't know. Until you hear it from Brock Lesnar's mouth, then you really can't confirm it. So, what's going on, Elliot? Good to see you. So yeah, Paul gets in the ring and he looks at Brock and they hug. Brock takes a minute to suck it all in with the fans. He then high fives several fans on his way back to the back with Paul Heyman. So, like I said, once again, in my opinion, this was not Brock Lesnar's last match. I do feel like he's going to retire at SummerSlam in front of his hometown, home state, Minneapolis, Minnesota, where he's born and raised. But if he is retiring, congratulations to Brock on one hell of a career. A lot of people are retiring at one time, so it's crazy. A lot of my childhood is retiring. So I think he has one more match in, but we'll see. So we'll go to the second match of the night that was live on ESPN. It's going to be the six-pack ladder challenge match for the Intercontinental Championship. This will be the second person that will retain, but this match absolutely cooked. I think it could have went a little bit longer, but I do feel like this was a very good match, start to finish. I knew it was going to be great. Gunther Seth was great. The six-pack ladder match was great. Roman and Punk was good. Certain parts of Cody and Randy was good. I think it was a bit slow, but I think that's just because Randy's hurt. So that's why I said I don't know where they're going to go forward with this Randy Cody story. Obviously, Cody's going to be off for 4 to 6 weeks, so we'll see. We'll kind of see what's going forward. Like I said, with the whole Raw with Roman's title now on Raw. Femi is going to be on Raw. So yeah, the Raw and SmackDown after WrestleMania is always really good. I expect to see some NXT call-ups as well. Probably see JC Jane either on Raw or SmackDown, so I'm looking forward to that. Maybe she gets put in one of these mid-card title scenes or something like that. Definitely would look forward to something like that. Once Sol Ruka faces Zarya Tuesday. I think we see Sol Ruka JC Jane on Raw and Sol Ruka on SmackDown. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see JC tomorrow. And then Sol's going to have her match against Zarya Tuesday, the last one was standing. She could show up on SmackDown. So I did see Alexa Bliss also posted something that kind of looked like a retirement on her Instagram, but she's not retired right now. So tomorrow going to be good. I mean, yeah, it's Raw after WrestleMania. If you're asking about The Rock, I have no idea. I was told by 3 or 4 different people that he was supposed to show up. I know he wasn't in Vegas for CinemaCon, but at this point, I think this is the last time. I say that every time, but until he actually shows up, I'm not going to get my hopes up about Dwayne. I don't know. He's got 2 movies to film this year. I know he's doing the last Fast and Furious movie. Also doing a Martin Scorsese movie later on in 2026. So, if they're doing Oba Roman at SummerSlam, I don't know. We'll see. They could still possibly do Roman Rock next year. It doesn't have to have a title. I know some idiot on X put that Roman was holding the title for like 1,000 days. He's not. So people are just so fucking crazy. Like I said, I'm happy they won the title. It's an elevation. CM Punk was definitely a hell of a champion at 47, 48 years old. A lot of title defenses. So congratulations to Roman though, but timeline, I've been off of X. I won't be on X for a couple of days because people just say the most outlandish shit I've ever heard in my entire life. So anyway, let's get to the second match of the night. Yeah, it's a possibility. He could show up tomorrow, but I do think they're setting up on over. So is Brock Lesnar retiring? I don't think so. That's my personal opinion. I'm giving my personal opinion, which is my show, my YouTube channel. I'm entitled to it. So I don't think so. I think that it's a possibility. But I think this also could be a good way to get him. I think Gunther finds a way to goad him into that match at SummerSlam. And then you have Brock as the face there and Gunther as the heel. So we'll see. We'll see tomorrow. We'll see, what Gunther has to say to Paul. If he doesn't even mention Brock or anything like that. And if he goes in a different direction, I know Seth's going to be tied up with Brian Breaker in the Vision. So, and Roman's going to be tied up with Oba. So I don't see anything else. Like, I really don't. So I personally don't think that was his last match, but until he announces it or Paul announces it, and WWE comes out and says it, and people stop saying if, then I don't believe it. I think he retires in his hometown in Minneapolis. So, but let's get to the 6-pack. 6-pack ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. Penta's defending the title, which he has been a workhorse champion. So I was pulling for Javon Evans. NXT strong. Obviously, 2 of the 3 won tonight. But Javon Evans is going to be an Intercontinental champion down the road. He's got plenty of time, but I was hoping he would get that win tonight. But Penta's defending against JD McDonough, Dragon Lee, Rusev, the young OG Javon Evans, and WWE Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio. They all make their way down to the ring. So the match starts off with JD McDonough kicking Javon Evans. Penta then hits a crossbody to Rusev. JD then hits a kick to Dragon Lee, but Ray, Lee, and Penta work over JD McDonough. Ray then hits a baseball slide, and Penta hits a hesitation drop kick. Ray, Dragon Lee, and Penta then look at the title belt, and Rusev pulls Ray to the floor and sends him into the ring steps. Dragon Lee and Penta then hit a double baseball slide to Rusev. Rusev then hits them with a ladder. Rusev then bridges a ladder across the apron and the table. Penta then hits a springboard drop kick to Rusev. JD McDonough then hits Penta with a ladder. So this match was really good. Javon Evans then hits a plancha to JD McDonough, then brings a ladder into the ring. And Dragon Lee hits a Hurricane Rana to JD McDonough. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee then toss a ladder aside. Rey hits several forearms. Dragon Lee then delivers a kick. Rey then goes for a head scissors, but Dragon Lee blocks it. Tries for a Styles Clash. Rey then blocks it and hits a Hurricane Rana. Rey then misses a 619, and Dragon Lee hits a super kick. Rusev then hits Dragon Lee with the ladder from the floor. Rusev then hits Javon Evans with the ladder, and he does the same to Penta and Rey Mysterio Jr. JD McCrispy then hits several strikes to Rusev, and Rusev hits a back body drop onto the ladder in the corner. Rusev is the first one to climb the ladder, and no one is in the ring until Penta comes in and stops Rusev from climbing up top and getting a hold to the Intercontinental Championship. Penta then hits a bulldog off the ladder on Rusev. Javon Evans then climbs the ladder, but Penta stops him as well. JD then climbs and Javon stops him. Evans then stops JD on top, and Rusev pushes them off the ladder. And Evans ends up hitting a crossbody onto Penta. JD then lands on the top rope, and he gets back. Evans then hits a springboard clothesline to knock JD McDonough off the top of the ladder. Dragon Lee then sends Javon Evans to the floor. Rey Mysterio then drop kicks Dragon Lee into the ropes with a ladder around him. Rey then hits his famous 619. Javon then leapfrogs over Rey to get on the ladder, but Rey stops him before he can get the title. They then fight on the ladder, and Penta kicks Javon Evans, and he kicks Rey. Penta then hits a suplex to Evans on the ladder. Dragon Lee then hits a springboard dropkick to Rey on top of the ladder. Dragon Lee then knocks JD off the ring apron. Dragon Lee then climbs, and Rusev pulls him off the ladder and then hits a Uranagi on Dragon Lee. Rusev then moves the ladder, and he connects the ladder between it and the turnbuckles. Rusev then punches Javon Evans. Then he hits a Uranagi onto that bridge ladder that he just assembled. Rusev then climbs the ladder. I just lost my place, sorry. He climbs the ladder, but Penta fires back with a forearm to the back. There goes my phone being stupid. Sorry, guys. I am going tomorrow to get another phone. Oh, this is so annoying when it does this. Can't charge it whenever I'm doing this because it just kicks me off. It goes off the screen. It's insane. Sorry, guys. I'll get back to action here shortly. Shout out to the 120 people who have watching live, whether it's on my YouTube. If you guys are watching live on my YouTube channel, please make sure to hit the like button on my stream. That definitely helps me out. I do appreciate all of the comments so far in the stream. But if you guys are watching live on YouTube, please make sure to hit that like button if you guys don't mind on the stream. I think there's a small chance Javon could be the youngest world champion someday. Yeah, 100%. 100%. As far as, I thought you had a Rock question, but you were talking about Brock. I was about to say, I don't know. I think the prize in their bag with Rock, fortunately. Because I don't think Roman finishes 2026 with that title. I think Femi is going to end up winning that title at SummerSlam. So Just my early thoughts before. I mean, we're way away from that, but that's what WWE is building up to right now. Looks like to me. All right, so where was I? All right, so Rusev then climbs the ladder. Penta hits a forearm to the back. Penta then hits a chop and super kick. Ray then hits several super kicks to Rusev. That's where Triple H cancel Rock return. I mean, I don't know. He was in Vegas for CinemaCon, but he did have to go back home for his daughter's birthday. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. I really don't. Maybe he'll be at Raw tomorrow. If he doesn't show up tomorrow, then I don't know. I think people can just stop talking about it. I know I will for sure. Ray then hits several kicks to Rusev, and Rusev goes to the apron. Penta and Ray then have some words, and Penta delivers a kick to Ray, but Ray fires back with a kick to Penta, but Penta sends Ray over the top rope onto Rusev, and he hits the seated splash through the ladder. Penta then climbs the ladder. Ray stops him and pulls him off. Ray then climbs. Penta stops him. Ray then hits a Hurricane Rana, and Penta goes into the ladder and the ropes. Ray then delivers a 619. Ray climbs the ladder. Dragon Lee stops him. Dragon Lee then hits a punch. Ray stops him on top of the ladder. Ray then sends Dragon Lee's head into the top of the ladder, and Dragon Lee falls off the ladder. Dragon Lee then grabs Ray. Dragon Lee then catches Ray off the ladder, and he hits the Styles Clash. He did hit the Styles Clash. Lee then climbs, and then JD stops him. JD then hits the Spanish fly off the ladder to the mat. JD then climbs the ladder, and so does Penta. Penta then hits several forearms and a destroyer off the ladder through the bridge ladder that was put together in the ring. So Javon Evans is all alone in the ring, and this is the part where I was like, all right, here we go. He's about to win. He climbs the ladder, but then Rusev returns to the ring, and he pushes the ladder away, but Evans holds on to the belt. Rusev then sends Evans over the top rope and to the floor. So that was Javon's one chance right there to get the title. Rusev then hobbles, and he starts to climb the ladder. Evans then goes up top, and Rusev comes off the ladder, and Javon Evans hits the OG cutter off the top of the ladder. Crazy good move. Penta then hits a cutter to Javon Evans, and he begins to climb the ladder. Penta then has the title belt, and he removes it from the hook. There's nobody in the ring. People are starting to try to make their way back in. You can see their heads coming back through. But Penta takes the title from the hook and is still your WWE Intercontinental Champion. Great, phenomenal match. Second match to kick off on ESPN. So the winner of six-pack challenge ladder match, still WWE Intercontinental Champion, is Penta, Cero Miedo. So that's what I was talking about earlier. Michael Cole was talking about what had happened earlier with Brock Lesnar, and he said if this is a career, then everybody's super emotional. I mean, if he is retiring, obviously it was super unexpected. I'm not sure anybody even really knew about it. I don't know. Paul Heyman was responsible for the Brock Ova creative, and also Paul Heyman was responsible for the Roman Punk. So I don't know. Paul Heyman knows. So obviously Triple H and all of them, I'm sure they know too. But I'm just giving my personal opinion. I don't think he's retiring. I think he's meant to, but I think Gunther finds a way to get him into one more match. Brock will be the face there in his hometown in Minneapolis, and he'll face Gunther. But we'll see. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm just stating my opinion, which I am entitled to that. Sami Zayn makes his way down to the ring for the next match of the night. He will be defending the first match that's not on ESPN. He will be defending the SmackDown United States Championship. against Trick Williams, who is accompanied by, or he's introduced by Little Yachty. And Trick Williams comes out to a huge pop. So the match starts off with both men exchange punches, and Sammy hits a clothesline. Put Elliot comment up there, so Triple H cancel Rock return. I don't think so. Rock kind of makes his own decisions. He's on the board, so the match starts off with both men exchange punches, and Sammy hits a clothesline. Sammy sends Trick into the turnbuckle and punches him. Sammy then hits a chop, and he springboard over Trick, and he clotheslines Trick over the top rope to the floor. Sammy then sets up for a dive to the floor, but Trick hits several clotheslines and a spinning heel kick. He then misses a jump cyclone kick, but Trick then hits a neck breaker on Sami Zayn. Trick then pulls Sammy up for a Uranagi, and he gets a count of 2. Sammy then hits a boot when Trick charges at him. Sammy then hits a blue thunder bomb, but only for a count of 2. Sammy then kicks Trick, and the referee warns him. You could hear the fans throughout the whole match was starting to really boo Sammy. So that heel turn's coming for Sammy. Sammy then hits several punches, and the referee holds him back. Sammy then kicks Trick Williams right in front of Little Yachty. Sammy then goes to the floor, and he hits Little Yachty from behind with a forearm, knocks him down. Sammy then sends Little Yachty into the ringside barrier. So yeah, that's definitely heel work right there for Sami Zayn. Sammy then sends Trick into the ring post from the apron, and he does it again. Sammy then hits a brainbuster on the apron, and the referee begins to check on him. The referee then starts his count, and Trick leans against the ringside barrier. Sami Zayn then hits a haluva kick, but Trick then beats the count to get back into the ring. So Sammy was trying to win this match by a countout. Sammy then kicks Trick while the referee is checking on Trick Williams. Sammy then sets up for a haluva kick, but Lil Yachty grabs Sammy by the legs and drops him down on the ropes. Trick then gets almost the pinfall, gets count of 2. Trick then pulls the knee pad down, and he goes for the jumping boot, but misses and almost hits the referee. Sammy then gets a roll up for a count of 2. Sammy then hits an exploder into the turnbuckles. Sammy then charges into the corner, and Trick hits the trick shot for the 1, 2, 3. And the winner and your new United States SmackDown Men's United States Champion, Mr. Trick Willie, Mr. Lemon Pepper Stepper himself, Trick Williams. After the match, Trick Williams celebrates with Yachty and his family. Trick then gets on the middle rope and raises the title. What a moment for Trick Williams. Just this time last year, him, Oba, and Javon are wrestling each other at Stand and Deliver. So 2 big moments so far for Team NXT. Oba and Trick and Javon put on a hell of a show in the 6-pack ladder match. So we go to the next match of the night, which was made official by Adam Pearce early in the night that it would be a street fight. It's going to be Dominic Mysterio taking on the Demon Finn Balor in a street fight. So the match starts off with the Demon crawling across the ring, and Dominic goes to the apron. He's never dealt with the Demon before. The Demon then gets up from a squat position, and he takes Dominic down and punches Dominic many times. The Demon then hits a back elbow and several chops. He then sends Dominic into the turnbuckle and chops him. Dominic then fires back with a kick, and the Demon blocks the kick and sends him to the mat and kicks Dominic to the apron. The Demon then hits a clothesline and sends Dominic Mysterio to the floor. The Demon then sends Dominic into the announce desk, and he gets a kendo stick and hits Dominic with the kendo stick. The Demon then goes for a table, and Dominic hits a suicide dive. Dominic Mysterio then grabs the kendo stick, and he wells away. He hits the Demon twice with the kendo stick, then sends the Demon into the ring, and he begins to pose before he gets back in the ring. Dominic then sends chairs into the ring. Dominic then hits the Demon in the midsection and in the back. Dominic then hits a slingshot senton, and he kicks the Demon. Dominic then sets up chairs in the center of the ring, and he sets up for a suplex through the chairs. The Demon then blocks it and sends Dominic onto the chairs with a gourd buster. The Demon then hits a sling blade. He hits several of those during this match. Dominic then hits a super kick, and he drop kicks the Demon into the ropes. And then he hits a 619 on the Demon. Dominic then goes up top, and he hits his finisher, the frog splash, but the Demon Finn Balor kicks out at the count of 2. Dominic then misses with a chair shot, and the Demon hits a GTR. The Demon then hits a drop kick to send Dominic into the corner. The Demon then hits another running drop kick. The Demon goes up top, and he misses the coup de grace. When Dominic moves out of the way, Dominic then hits the Demon with a chair and goes for the pin, but only gets a count of 2. Dominic then brings the table the Demon got earlier, and he brings it into the ring. Dominic sets it up against the turnbuckles in the corner. The Demon then punches Dominic, and Dominic tries to Irish whip the Demon into the table, but the Demon stops short, and he hits a sling blade. Dominic then hits a super kick, and Dominic sends the Demon crashing through the table, and the table broke in half. This was a pretty good match. It wasn't great, but it was pretty good. Dominic then hits the Demon in the back with the chair to send him into the ropes, and then Dominic puts a chair around the Demon's head and hits a 619, and then hurries up to the top of the rope, and he hits the second time of the night. He hits his finisher, the frog splash, but the Demon kicks out at 2. Dominic then hits the Demon in the back with the chair many times. Dominic then goes outside and goes up under the ring, and he gets another table. Dominic then sets up the table, and Demon gets to his feet, and he clotheslines Dominic. Demon then gets a chair, and he hits Dominic with it several times in the back. Demon puts the chair over Dominic's head, and he drop kicks Dominic into the turnbuckles, and the chair flies off his neck. The Demon then puts Dominic on the table, and he hits a coup de grace through the table for the 1, 2, 3. So the winner of the match of the street fight is the Demon Finn Balor. So we're going to go to our next match of the night, which is the co-main event. Jade Cargill, the SmackDown Women's Champion, which has held the title for over 100 plus days with 2 title defenses. I definitely thought she may retain, but obviously I had already put my picks in, and Bianca shows up last night. She's pregnant. I'm like, oh, well, she's not going to be wrestling Bianca at SummerSlam, so they're probably going to take the title off her. I don't understand, like, what was the whole purpose of them making this baddies and then just have Jade, which I'm okay with Rhea winning the title. I'm a big Rhea fan, but I don't know. I don't know what the whole purpose of building this baddie 2.0 faction was. If Jade was just going to drop the title on her first big title defense. So, yeah. Jade makes her way down to the ring to face Rhea Ripley. The match starts off with both women having words for each other before locking up. They go to the ropes, and the referee forces a break. Jade then pushes Rhea, and Rhea misses a punch to Jade. Jade then hits a shoulder tackle on her slam. Rhea then avoids a clothesline, and Rhea hits a kick and a face plant to Jade. Rhea then hits a drop kick to send Jade Cargill to the floor. Jade then rakes the eyes, and she hits a power slam for a count of 2. Jade sends Rhea into the turnbuckle and hits and delivers a kick to Rhea. Jade then sends Rhea to the floor, and Jade follows. Jade then works on the back, and she sends Rhea into the ringside barrier. Jade then poses on the ringside area in front of the fans. She then again sends Rhea Ripley back first into the apron. Jade gets her back into the ring, and she hits the Blue Thunder Bomb for a count of 2. But Rhea says she wants some more from Jade. She's fired up. Jade then sends it in a crossface. Rhea escapes, and she gets Jade on her back. Jade then hits several elbows to get away from Rhea. Rhea then hits a kick to the head. Rhea then hits a double leg takedown and several punches. Jade then gains the position and punches Rhea. They then go back and forth with forearms. Jade then hits a kick, and Rhea hits a drop kick. Rhea then gets Jade on her shoulders, and she sends Jade face first to the mat, and she goes for the pinfall, but only gets a count of 2. Jade then blocks her. Rhea Ripley goes for the riptide, but Jade Cargill blocks it and hits a hip toss. Jade then flips back into the ring, and Rhea hits an elbow. Jade then hits a thrust kick and a spine buster for a count of 2. Jade then sets up for Jaded, but Rhea Ripley counters with a roll-up for only a count of 2, though. Jade goes for a powerbomb, and Rhea counters with a Hurricane Rana. Rhea then hits a flying boot, and then out comes the Baddie 2.0. Meechin is on the apron, and she distracts the referee. B-Fab then grabs Jade to stop Rhea from hitting a razor's edge. Rhea then goes for a flying shoulder in the corner, but hits the ring post when Jade moves out of the way. What's going on, Bintu? Congratulations to your favorite Rhea on winning this. I'm actually talking about the Rhea match now, so he came on during the right time. I didn't think she was going to pull it off, but once I seen Bianca was pregnant and they wasn't putting off that match with Jade and Bianca, because Bianca won't be wrestling at SummerSlam. I knew they were going to change the title. Rhea won. Yes, I'm so happy. Yeah, I'm a big Rhea fan. So we'll see what they do with Rhea on SmackDown. Looks like she's going to be on SmackDown for a while. So they need to move some women over there to see. I mean, they got Charlotte over there, but I don't know. I don't know too many credible challengers over there. Jordan Grace, maybe. Tiffany Stratton's obviously over there. Julia. Can't really think of too many more. I could challenge Rhea over there. Meechin gets on the she's on the apron. She distracts the referee. So Jade goes for the flying shoulder in the corner, but Jade moves and Rhea Ripley hits the ring post with her shoulder. Meechin then gets a shot on Rhea. And Jade hits a one-winged angel only for a count of 2. Jade then sends Rhea to the floor. Jade distracts the referee to allow Meechin and B-Fab to do something. They're very hesitant, but the referee sees them and they freeze. Then out comes the Genius of the Sky, who didn't make the card, who more than likely will be facing Asuka at Backlash or on SmackDown or Raw before here in the coming weeks. Yeah, Sky's music hit. She hits. She comes running out. Ia then sends Meechin into B-Fab, and she hits a showtie and a back fist. Ia then gets on the apron, and she hits an side moonsault, and Jade goes for the bicycle kick. And by that time, Ia has moved out of the way. Rhea then comes up from behind Jade, hits a headbutt, and tries for a riptide, but Jade escapes and delivers a bicycle kick. Rhea then escapes the Jaded, and she hits the riptide for the 1, 2, 3. And your winner and your new Women's United SmackDown champion, is the Eradicator, Rhea Ripley. So that is your 5th title to change hands in 2 nights. Last night, let's see what all titles changed hands last night. We had Becky Lynch win the Intercontinental Championship last night. I'm trying to think of all the title changes we have. The Morgan defeated Stephanie McCourt for the Women's Championship last night. Trick defeated Sammy for the United States titles. Rhea defeated Jade Cargill for the Women's SmackDown Championship. There was one more title that changed hands last night. Just thinking through the matches on the card for last night. Liv beat Stephanie for the title. Cody retained. Penta retained. Oh, the Brie Bella and Paige. So that's 5 title changes within the first 12 matches. So that's little less than 50% before we go to the main event, which we ended up having 13 matches total and 6 title changes. So a little less than 50% of the matches were. There were 8 title matches and 6 of the 8 title matches had title changes. Is this Triple H and Stephanie's last WWE appearance? I don't think so. Maybe I doubt it. After the match, Rhea hugs Io and she celebrates the win with Io. So congratulations to Rhea Ripley for winning the Women's SmackDown Heavyweight Championship. So then we get the GOAT, the Never Seen 17, back in the ring before the main event. He announces that the attendance for tonight's WrestleMania 42 Night 2 is 55,255, while the attendance for both nights came out to a total of 106,072 people for a 2-night event. TKO pulled it off again, even though I believe they comped a lot of those last-minute tickets, to be honest with you, to the locals. But who's counting? 1,673 if you count Bianca's baby as well. So congratulations to Bianca Belair for having a baby. Looks like she's probably gonna be having a baby here in the next couple of months. I don't know, like 4 or 5 months pregnant she looked like, but can't really tell. Everybody tells differently. Cena says Cena says that is the end of his official duties as the host of WrestleMania 42. Cena says he wanted to take a second to give a heartfelt thank you. Then out comes The Miz and Kit Wilson and make their way out, and The Miz tells Cena he doesn't get to do it because he is the locker room leader. Miz then says he didn't get his WrestleMania moment last year, and he will not leave until he gets his WrestleMania moment this year. Cena then says hello to The Miz, and then he turns to Kit Wilson and he says, "Who are you?" again. He then says, if Miz wants a WrestleMania moment, he can have it. Before Miz can speak, out comes Danhausen. His music hits. He makes his way down to the ring with all his Danhausen-ettes. Danhausen gets a mic and he says hello to everyone. Danhausen then says he has finally made it to WrestleMania Hausen. He then says he has something to say to John Cena. He then says he is a huge fan of Hausen and he shakes Cena's hand. Miz then says he is turning WrestleMania into a circus. He then says if he wanted to see Wizard of Oz, he would go down the street. Kit Wilson then says they are toxic and he pushes Danhausen. Miz then asks Danhausen what is he going to do about it. He then pushes one of his minions on Kit and punches them in the groin. The rest of them then attack Kit. Danhausen then punches Miz in the same area as Kit, and Danhausen hits the cursed knuckle shuffle, and John Cena is highly amused. Danhausen then tells Cena he can't see him, and smoke and like a little bomb thing appeared. Smoke appears. Danhausen's still there, runs out of the ring. Cena gets back on the mic. He says, "Retired life is awesome, and WrestleMania is unexpected." He said, "But now it is time for the main event of night 2, and it is time for the main event of WrestleMania 42 Night 2 recap show here on the EVP show, as well as Roman Reigns will be challenging CM Punk for the Raw Men's Heavyweight Championship." Both entrances were great. Like I said, I love what they did with Cody's entrance last night. Roman's was really good. It brought back the whole family lineage. Obviously, Roman went back to the old school music as well, head of the table. So I was thinking about Ia. Is she going to be a heel or is Rhea? I don't know. I think one of them. I do think one of them eventually go heel. And we eventually get that match. I think it probably. I don't know. It's hard to say because they're just so good together. So I don't know. I would think it maybe. It could be Rhea, but I don't think it happens until we get the Io Asuka match, though. But we'll see. CM Punk's entrance also was very great. He came out with like this jacket with all these people that have passed away. And I believe it was his ROH theme song as well. So definitely did both great entrances, very long. Like I said, this match went a little over 30 minutes. So once after all the entrances and the ring announcer announces both men, the match starts off with both men standing in their respective corner. They then move to the center of the ring, and they begin to spout words at each other. They then back off and circle each other. They lock up. Punk goes for a full Nelson, but Roman escapes. They then lock up again, and Punk cinches in a side headlock and hits a shoulder tackle. Punk then tells Roman that is one, and Roman gets in Punk's face. Punk then cinches in a side headlock. Roman then hits a back elbow, and Punk gets up and pushes Roman. Roman pushes back. Punk then hits a slap, and he cinches in a side headlock. Punk then hits a shoulder tackle. Roman then hits one of his own. Roman then hits several punches, and Punk delivers a chop to Roman. Roman then hits a punch, and Punk goes to the mat. Roman then sends CM Punk into the turnbuckles, and he clotheslines Punk over the top rope into the floor. We've seen blood, which was great in both of the main events, and Cody, Randy, and also in Roman Punk. Roman follows him to the floor, and he sends Punk into the ring post. Roman then tries to send Punk into the announce desk, but Punk blocks it. He sends Roman into the announce desk. Roman then hits an Irish whip into the ringside barrier. Roman then breaks the count, and then he comes back out and he punches CM Punk on the floor. Roman then sends Punk over the ringside barrier and into the crowd. Roman then breaks the count, and he gets on the announce desk while Punk takes a seat in the front row. Punk comes back out, he hits several punches, and he sends Roman back over the ringside barrier. Punk then hits a clothesline off the ringside barrier. Punk then gets on the announce desk, and he begins to pose. Roman then press slams Punk off the announce desk. But they back in the ring. Roman goes for the pinfall and gets a count of 2. Roman has more words for Punk. Roman then hits several punches. Punk then punches back. Punk then hits a boot, and Roman hits a boot of his own for a count of 2. Roman then has several uppercuts, and Punk is caught in the ropes. Roman then hits several clotheslines in the corner. Roman then hits a flying clothesline for a count of 2. Roman then sets up for his famous Superman punch, but Punk moves. Roman hits the turnbuckles. Punk then hits a clothesline. He goes up top and hits a crossbody. Punk then punches Roman. Punk delivers more punches and hits a leg lariat, and he follows it up with a running knee into the corner. Punk then hits a bulldog, and he signals that it's over, and he waits for Roman to get back to his feet. Punk then gets Roman up, but Roman hits several elbows to escape. I guess at that point, CM Punk was going for the GTS. Roman then sends Punk shoulder first into the ring post. Roman then hits a Superman punch and goes for the pin, but CM Punk kicks out at 2. Roman then looks around and he sets up for a spear, but Punk hits a running knee into the corner. CM Punk then hits another knee in the corner and his short arm clothesline. Punk then hits another short arm clothesline and then follows it up with a neck breaker. Punk then clotheslines Roman over the top rope into the floor. Punk hits a suicide dive onto the floor. Punk then begins to pose over Roman Reigns. Punk then sends Roman's head into the announce desk and ring steps. Punk then puts Roman on the announce desk and Punk punches him. Punk then returns to the ring and he stops the referee's count. This match definitely became a no disqualification match because the referee definitely let pretty much everything go in this match, for sure. Punk goes up top and sets up for an elbow drop through the table, but Roman recovers and he stops Punk. Will WrestleMania be in Bermuda? I don't think so. It's planned on being in Saudi Arabia next year. They then fight on the apron with both men hitting elbows. Punk then delivers a big boot to Roman, and Roman hits a boot to Punk. Roman then puts Punk on the top turnbuckle and he hits a forearm. Roman then puts Punk in the trio woe. Punk just kind of laying there, like with his head down towards the ringside mat on the outside. All the blood rushing to his head. Roman taunts Punk and punches him. Roman then hits a Superman punch to Punk in the trio woe and delivers a second and a third one. Punk is out on his feet, basically. Roman then goes back to the floor and he picks up the ring steps. Roman then hits CM Punk with the ring steps and busts him wide open. CM Punk has been cut. Roman then hits Punk with the steps. He adjusts the announce desk. Roman then hits a power bomb on CM Punk through the table. Roman then poses on what is left of the table. Roman then sends Punk into the ring. Roman then does the spear pose and he goes for the spear, but Punk gets Roman up and hits a GTS, but only for a count of 2. Punk then gets Roman up again and Roman escapes. Roman then hits his famous spear for only a count of 2. Roman then rolls Punk's face on the mat and he slams it into the mat many times. Roman seems frustrated at this point. Roman then signaled that it's time for him to hit a GTS. Will Saudi by WWE? I believe that will happen in the next year or 2. I do believe TKO, once they get in the green, they're going to end up selling, and Saudi will be the ones to buy it. Roman signals that it's time for him to do the GTS. Roman then hits a punch, and Punk punches back. Roman then gets Punk up, and he goes for a GTS, but Punk blocks it. He hits a round kick and goes for a pinfall, but only for a count of 2. CM Punk then sets up for his own Superman punch, and he hits it. He hit Roman with his own move, just like Roman just did to him. Similar to what Randy and Cody did last night. Cody hit a RKO, and Randy hit the Crossroads. So Punk delivered a Superman punch, and he hits it, but he goes for the pinfall, but Roman kicks out at 2. Punk then punches Roman in the head several times and goes to the floor, and he goes and gets an Ula Fala from a fan, which is a huge mistake. That goes back several generations in the family. Definitely disrespect for Punk to put that Ula Fala on. Punk then signals for the spear, same thing that Roman usually does, but Roman catches Punk and hits the old-fashioned guillotine he used to use. But Punk then gets a roll-up for a count of 2, and Punk cinches in the submission hold, the Anaconda Vice. Roman then punches Punk, and he turns it into another guillotine. Punk then escapes, and he tries for a sharpshooter, but Roman punches Punk. Roman then returns to the guillotine. Punk then bridges over, and he gets a near fall. Roman and Punk then collide in the center of the ring, and both men are down. Roman and Punk still jawing back and forth to each other, exchange punches. Roman then hits a knee, and Roman hits a knee also. Punk then hits a headbutt, and he regrets it immediately. Headbutting the Samoan, not the best idea. Punk then takes off the wrist tape, like he wants to go to fisticuffs with Roman, and he throws it at Roman. And while the referee goes for the tape, Punk hits Roman Reigns with the low blow and a GTS. He goes for the pinfall, but Roman Reigns kicks out at 2.99. Punk then hits several elbow drops. Punk then sends Roman to the floor. Punk sends Roman into the announce desk, and he puts him on top of it. Punk climbs to the top rope, and he hits the Macho Man Randy Savage elbow drop through the table, and the table collapses, and the fans are chanting, "Holy shit." That was a crazy move. Punk then sends Roman back into the ring. Punk then goes, if Saudi by WWE, what will happen? I don't know. I mean, it's different. It'd be ran by different ownership, so I really have no clue on that, honestly. Punk goes for GTS again, and he hits it. If Sonny buys WWE, what will happen? Like, guess. I have no idea, to be honest with you. Did you eat, friend? Yes, I have eaten. Thank you. Roman then falls into the ropes, and he falls onto Punk to try for another GTS, but Punk collapses under Roman's weight. Punk then gets back to his feet, and Roman hits a spear, but Roman is unable to immediately make the cover. But then Roman Reigns hits another spear, which is the third spear of the night, and he, without any shenanigans, he gets the 1, 2, 3, and the winner and the new WWE Raw Heavyweight Champion is the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. And I do believe that completes his Grand Slam championship. After the match, Roman Reigns goes outside, obviously celebrates. I saw all his kids and obviously his wife, so that was a very nice thing to see. Roman celebrates alone in the ring as the pyro goes off. Roman then climbs to the middle rope and raises the championship. Roman then stands tall and raises the championship once again at WrestleMania 42. Night 2 comes to a close. So the Tribal Chief era is now back in full effect, guys. And that is the end of the WrestleMania 42 Night 2 recap show. Like I said, I'm going to give WrestleMania 42 overall probably like a B. Night 1 was pretty bad. Tonight was better. I don't think it was an A+, but it was definitely an improvement for last night. WWE or TKO really needs to focus next year, I'm hoping, on match time. I felt like that was one of the weaknesses for WrestleMania this year. I feel like some of the matches didn't have enough match time, and the entrances are just really, really long. Yeah, like I said, once again, like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, if this is Brock Lesnar's last match, congratulations to Brock Lesnar on a hell of a career. But like I said, in my opinion, I do believe that we do see Brock again in Minneapolis, in his hometown. And hopefully we see him again, because you never want to see him on retire. But if he does, congratulations to Brock on one hell of a career. I do want to thank you guys for all the support this week. It's been a super long week. Obviously, I have 2 more days to go. We have the Raw after Mania tomorrow, and then NXT. And I will be off Wednesday. But thank you guys so much for helping me get to 200 subscribers. I'm at 218, I believe. And if you are watching live on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're already subscribed, hit that notification bell so that you can join me. And it will notify you every time that I go live. Just some shout outs really quick to the people in the comments. Shout out to Peter. Seems to be coming in here quite a bit. Somebody new I haven't seen before. Shout out to John NY 5985. Good to see you as well. Johnny 5985. I'm sorry. I read that wrong. At Johnny 5985. WWE to have to cut 75% of the commercials during PLEs. Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of commercials, but they definitely need to cut back on the ads and commercials. TKO does for sure. But appreciate you coming in. Shout out to Peter again. Shout out to at SS Gaming Y2123. OTC with the ones up. Yes, the Roman Reigns era has officially been restarted, and I'm looking forward to seeing Roman. He said he's going to be around this summer, so that's a good thing. That was one of my concerns. The only concern I have with putting the championship belt back on Roman is if he wasn't going to be around. But he did say in the post show that he plans on shutting everybody up, and he plans to be sticking around during the summer. So that is always a good thing for somebody that's going to hold the title. And I'll be looking forward to that Roman Reigns versus Obafemi at SummerSlam, because I do believe that's the direction they're going. Shout out to Elliot, who's the first person to ever buy any EVP merch. I don't believe I have any merch out right now, but thank you, Elliot, for coming in. And shout out to Bentu, my favorite Rhea Ripley fan that comes in to watch. She is watching. They. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if you're she or he. They are watching live on X. And thank you to the 151 people that has tuned in tonight. Special shout outs again to everyone that came on Wednesday for the WrestleMania prediction show. And also shout out to Nitro Oblivion, who was on the prediction show, for co-sharing my stream onto his YouTube page. Last time I checked, I think I was around 194, 196 views on YouTube, and I believe Miami and Final Boss Baby Talk It Up Wrestling X page, I believe there was a lot of views on there as well. Probably close to 300. I had about 180 on mine, so that's about 600 plus views or so on the prediction show. So appreciate you guys for that. And also shout out to everybody from DWE, the CEO, the head of the table, Miami the Great, Final Boss Baby. They obviously just did a watch along on Twitch and also on Twitter, X, on the Talk It Up, and on Miami's page the last 2 nights. A lot of views there. So hopefully you guys tuned in to that. Director Red's World of Greg, and After the Slam podcast as well. Make sure you follow them on X. Make sure you follow After the Slam on X and give him a subscription on YouTube. My next goal now is to get to 300 subscribers before SummerSlam. So if you guys know anybody that enjoys content, I put out about 5 days a week. Make sure to share the link. I will be providing all my links to all my socials, and my YouTube page is pinned in all of my links on my socials. But appreciate you guys coming in for WrestleMania Night 1 last night and WrestleMania Night 2 tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the recap. Hope you guys enjoyed WrestleMania. And now we are on the road to Backlash. So I'll be back shortly to tell you where you guys can find me on my socials, what I have coming up for you this coming week here on the EVP show.
Wrestling has more than one
out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go, show recap prediction sports
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go.
All right. Once again, thank you to the 155, 106, 155 people watching live here, either on the EVP show, on my X page, or on Talking Up Wrestling Podcast's X page. As far as where you can find me on my social, is scrolling across here in the blue in the bottom, on the bottom in the link, going across the bottom of the screen. And like I said, my YouTube page is pinned to all of these accounts. So if you follow me on any of these accounts, you will be able to find my YouTube link to share to your friends or family or anybody you know that enjoys wrestling content. But if you're looking for me on X, you can find me at EVPCJP. Instagram, which is now a business account, you can find me at the same handle at EVPCJP. TikTok, if you're looking for me there, my YouTube page is pinned on my TikTok as well. And if you follow me on X and I follow you back, you can go all the way up at the top of my X page, and my YouTube page is pinned at the very top of my X page. It's literally the first post on my X page, and it's pinned in my bio up top on my Instagram page. If you're looking for me on TikTok, you can find me at Brady the Goat 21. Again, that's at HDXHHD/B4T. Breaking news: Ryan Allen Reeves is all elite. All right. Ryan Allen Reeves is with AEW. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to look at any news, so thank you for that. Thank you for tuning in at the very end. Appreciate you coming in. So if you're looking for, like I said, if you're looking for me on TikTok, you can find me at Brady the Goat 21. That's at Brady BRADY DA GOAT 21. You're just gonna see nothing but YouTube videos for my upcoming streams. Like I said previously at the beginning of the broadcast, if you are watching live on YouTube, make sure you guys hit that like button on the stream. And if you guys go back and do watch this night 2 recap, please just hit that like button for me. It definitely helps my channel, helps the algorithm, helps get fresh eyes and ears on the product. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you already subscribed, please make sure you hit that notification bell, and it will inform you when I go live. If you're not subscribed and if you're looking for my channel, you can go to the search bar and type in at the EVP show. And if you do, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and tune in, because I do put out a lot of wrestling content. So what I have coming up next for you guys, tomorrow night is the Raw after WrestleMania. You can expect the unexpected. It's always craziness with the Raw after WrestleMania. Roman Reigns said he would be there. I'm sure that it's going to be a wild night tomorrow. I would expect to see SmackDown and Raw stars at the Raw after Mania. It will be in Las Vegas. So tune in at 11 p.m. Eastern tomorrow for your Raw after WrestleMania recap show. And then I'm back Tuesday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for your NXT recap. Wednesday I'm off, which will be the first day no streams, and I believe it will be the 10th day in a row. But I will be off Wednesday, no stream on the EVP show for Wednesday night. But I'm back Thursday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for your TNA recap show. And then Friday night is the first SmackDown after WrestleMania. You can tune in at 11:30 p.m. Eastern time for your SmackDown recap show. And then Saturday I'm off as well. But Sunday, April 26th is coming up Sunday. It's going to be the first doubleheader for the EVP show. I didn't have a Sunday night scoop today because it was WrestleMania night 2. But coming up this coming up Sunday, April 26th at 6 p.m. Eastern, tune in to Sunday Night Scoots with the EVP at episode 18 at 6 p.m. Eastern. Later on that night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, the season debut premiere episode number 1 of LFG Season 3, a new show here to the EVP show and the DWE Network. That will be Sunday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern. I will be live for episode 1 of LFG Season 3. So that is my week coming up this week for you guys. And then obviously it's going to be the same schedule next week as well. And I'll go through that as the week progresses. But thank you guys so much. Thank you to everybody that came in for the WrestleMania prediction show. I will be putting out a post here in the next week and a half or so for the Backlash prediction show. Backlash will be, I believe it's Saturday, May 9th. So you guys be looking on X out for the post, as I'll be looking for people to come on the Backlash. The Backlash prediction show here on the EVP show. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy WrestleMania. We have 6 new champions, so hopefully fresh starting tomorrow with new storylines, new feuds, and get to see some NXT roster call-up. JC James, looking forward to see her on the main roster, and Sol Ruka as well as Ricky Saint, possibly Ethan Page, maybe even Joe Hendry at some point. So, WrestleMania was about a B for me. Not a D, but a B overall. Super long, a lot of wrestling this weekend, so super tired. And not saying I'm glad WrestleMania is over, but WrestleMania 42 is now officially in the books. So with that being said, guys, hopefully you guys enjoy the first day of a new work week tomorrow, which is Monday. And I will see you guys tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern for your Raw After WrestleMania recap show. I am the EVP from the EVP show and the golden boy of DWE. And DWE is the place to be. And I will see you guys tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern time. 11 p.m. I'm sorry. I completely startled there for a second. At 11 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night for the Raw recap show. Make sure you guys, if you are subscribed, hit that notification bell, and it will send you a reminder when I go live tomorrow night. But besides that, enjoy your Monday and enjoy the first Raw after WrestleMania tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern live on Netflix. And I will see you guys tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern for your Raw recap show. Good night, everyone.